Hello everyone, welcome to my first YouTube exclusive podcast episode. This episode will only be shown on YouTube, nowhere else. Today I am joined by Stellar. Thank you for joining me, Stellar. I'm very excited to get into some things. I'm so happy to be here. Being a part of a podcast isn't something that I necessarily expected myself to get into, but as long as the House of Juice is involved, I'm always up for it. I'm looking forward to tonight's interview. Same TBH, let's get into the questions. Go for it, Queen. Stellar, for those watching who have no idea who you are, please introduce yourself and tell us more about you and what you do. I'd love to. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Stellar. I'm 16 years old and I own the MSP drag community over on Discord. I've been hosting since May of 2020, and I mainly got into hosting because of the pandemic. I found that people were coming back to MSP considering the pandemic was keeping everyone home at the time, so I thought it would have been perfect to use that time wisely and create this still ongoing space for those who need it most. Thank you. Stellar, you are the founder of the Discord drag community. Why did you think to take a drag community to Discord and not a more public platform where you would be seen on a higher level? That's a very good question. At the time, I had just got out of the drag scene over on Roblox, and their main space of discussion was Discord. I felt like it was best to do the same, as it worked out pretty well for the Roblox groups I was a part of, so I was hoping that sort of luck would continue with my own server. I honestly never thought of hosting using Instagram, or any other social media platform, for that matter. I never knew it was a thing until a few months into hosting, and I was pleasantly surprised that there was such a similar community so close to us. Stellar, you own and host a race that has many seasons, including All-Stars, holiday special seasons. Where do you look for guidance for running your race? Honestly, I don't know how to answer that question. I consider myself to be quite creative, so a lot of the ideas that I have will come from either RuPaul's Drag Race, maybe even an Instagram drag race, or just when I'm in the shower coming up with my best ideas. I must admit though, this community on Instagram is seriously and truly talented. As a queer and non-binary person myself, something I look up to most is drag culture. I love being able to see people express themselves in such unique ways, from all over the world, and that's what keeps me going and gives me the motivation to continue hosting. As for guidance, however, I'm luckily supported by friends and family. It sounds silly, but they always help me out when it comes to thinking of runway themes to assign certain episodes. My gran has always told me to keep being myself no matter the situation at hand. OMG, love your gran. Stellar, you are a non-editing queen to my understanding. Have you ever tried to edit a look before? I knew this question was coming. I could sense it, and the answer is, I have tried, indeed. Back in 2021, I managed to edit some hair, a white dress, and a few pearls splattered across the outfit. Looking back, it wasn't the serve I was hoping it was going to be, but I was proud of myself for going out of my comfort zone and trying. In fact, I even got a past queen from Instagram to edit my makeup. Nowadays, however, I don't mind a few minor edits to my looks. MSP can be quite limited when it comes to its styling choices, so you're always going to have to stay creative if you want to keep impressing the audience before you. Editing can be hard at times, but practice makes perfect. I would know best. I'm JK. No, you're not joking. You're right. Your looks are always pure perfection, and we all know where you learned that from. We love to see it. Stellar, where did you get your start in MSP drag competitions? This was something I was hoping to get asked tonight. I don't normally talk about this anymore, but before I started hosting seasons through Stellar Network, I was a part of a competition on MSP called Ginger's Drag Race. There was no Discord, Instagram, or any other social media platform involved. It was all through MSP. Looking back again, my looks weren't as good at the time. They were iconic. I remember winning the first challenge, being high safe for the second, and then it all went downhill from there. I had to quit on the runaway bride theme. I wasn't feeling ready to continue. Honestly, considering that was back in April of 2020, I've realized how much of a growth and improvement I've made since then, and I'm glad because it would be extremely embarrassing if I still looked like that having hosted for 2 years straight. Jokes aside, I truly appreciate Ginger for giving me the start to MSP drag. I hope I can meet them in the future all over again. Do you still talk to Ginger today? Unfortunately, I do not. We and a few other contestants drifted apart after their season finished. However, soon after Ginger's Drag Race had finished, Stellar's Drag Race had started. 3 of the queens that were on Ginger's Drag Race originally actually made it to the final 3 of Stellar's Drag Race, which was something that made me happy. All 3 of them are still icons within my community, that's for sure. Aw, that's super cute. You should definitely reach out to Ginger, it could be cute. The Ginger's Drag Race reunion is something the world needs right now. The Discord community has kind of branded itself as a non-editing community with a very small amount of queens who do edit. Why do you think this is? I'm honestly not too sure. I feel like because I started off SDR as a straight from MSP competition, it just caught on. As much as I love to see non-edited looks, I always love to see edited looks as well. That sort of contrast is what makes the community so strong. You're also right though. We have winners in the Hall of Fame who can edit and do it well, but we also have winners who have never edited a single MSP look in their life. And that's the way I like it. That versatility makes us stand out for sure. Stellar, I have asked MSP drag queens to ask questions of things they want to know about the Discord community, so let's answer some. That sounds like so much fun. Let's go for it. First question comes from Chrysalis Smalls. They ask, the Discord community has gotten a reputation for not being the most friendly of communities. What are your opinions on this? This is something that I get asked by every Instagram queen that comes into our community. Unfortunately, we have had our fair share of drama, especially back in 2020, but I've tried my hardest to remove those people that made it so negative. All I want for my community is a place where individuals, specifically individuals who identify within the LGBTQIA+ community, can express themselves to the fullest. I don't want someone to feel like they've been left out. That's one of my biggest fears as a host. I know that we don't have the best of reputations, but I'm here to shut down those rumors. If any of you ever want to join the Discord community, you are more than welcome to. I hate to think that people are hesitant to do so, but I understand if what you've been told has stuck. Stellar, what advice would you give to someone who is newly joining the Discord community? I love that question so much. If we're talking about someone that wants to compete, then all I can say is be yourself. Play off of that charm you know you have, and show the judges and I how much you want to win. Something I love most about all of our winners too is that they're all so unique. They use their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, if you will, to the best of their abilities. Considering that I've hosted for 2 years now, all I want to see is people being their authentic selves. That's what makes you stand out not only as a person, but as an artist as well. If we're talking about someone that's new to the community and just wants to spectate for the time being, then all I have to say is be kind. Something the world needs right now is kindness. And if you're sharing that kindness with the people around you, it will rub off on them. I would adore for these new queens to be able to adapt and fit in. It's something I love to see. Hopefully someone uses that advice. Thank you. Stellar, what do you think is the biggest misconception about the MSP Drag Discord community? I think Chrysalis touched on it perfectly. I'd have to say the biggest misconception is that we're unwelcoming or unfriendly, coming from someone who was shunned from a lot of online spaces for either being too young, too feminine, or too squeaky. The last thing on my bucket list is for someone to come in and feel like they don't belong there. When it comes to drag, there's so many different and unique parts to it, and that's what makes it so special. I wouldn't want someone to come in and automatically feel outshined or uncomfortable. This links in with what I had to say before too. All my community want is for people to come in and be kind to one another. Whether it's sharing advice in the #2-or-boot channel, showcasing your looks for people to react to, or talking about yourself unrelated from MSP, Stellar Network really just needs that sense of activity. I feel like I've rambled on there, but at the end of the day, I just want a happy and friendly space for those who want and need it most. Stellar, you get to play Bob or Flop, where the queen I'm interviewing gets to Bob or Flop 2 songs off my playlist. The 2 songs you get are Just Look Up by Ariana Grande and Kid Cudi and Good Form by Nicki Minaj. Okay, after listening to the 2 songs, I must say that they're both complete bops. With Just Look Up, it's such a good showing of Ariana's vocals. She has so much talent when it comes to music. I love her and her voice so much. And with Good Form, this was one of and still is one of my favorite Nicki songs. Not only is it perfect for its lyricism, which we come to expect from her, but it's perfect for the Queen album. Stellar, is there anything you want to speak about before we go? I don't think there's anything, actually. If you ever have any more questions, however, I'm just a DM away. Thank you, Stellar, for joining me for this YouTube exclusive episode, and I'd like to thank you, Baby Juice, for having me on your podcast. This was so much fun to do. I really appreciate all of the effort you go through to come up with questions for these episodes. I can't wait to see what's next for the Baby Juice podcast, that's for sure. As a goodbye, I'll do my iconic exit message as seen on my YouTube channel. Stay shining, superstars. Thank you, Stellar.